I thought I had it all under control at the Bloodstar Pack training grounds, until everything fell apart. One minute, I was dominating the wolf-powered combat game, the crowd cheering like crazy. The next, I couldn't even spin a hula hoop without making a fool of myself. Maggie was furious. Regina and Mel were watching from the sidelines, shooting me worried looks that made my chest tight. I stood frozen under the spotlight, replaying my humiliating hula hoop fail on loop. That stupid hula hoop lay at my feet, a perfect reminder of how badly I'd messed up. Maggie turned on her heel and stormed off, her frustration so thick you could almost touch it. Mel shook his head, his voice sharp with disappointment that cut deeper than any insult. I clenched my fists so tight, my nails dug into my palms, desperate to hide how broken I felt. The crowd started to leave, their whispers fading into the night, leaving me all alone with my shame. Regina was the only one who came over, her hand on my shoulder, a small anchor in the chaos. But as she comforted me, I felt it something dark and dangerous under my Omega aura, waiting to break free. Mel watched us from across the field, his expression unreadable. Like he knew what I was hiding. My hands started to tingle, like the power inside me was waking up, hungry and uncontrolled. The training grounds grew darker by the second, and I realized my secret wasn't just mine anymore. I looked up at the moon, wondering what other secrets this pack was hiding, and what was coming for me next. Maggie was gone, but her disappointment hung in the air, a weight I couldn't shake off. Regina pulled me toward the exit, her quiet support the only thing keeping me from falling apart. As the gates closed behind us, I knew tomorrow would bring new challenges and more secrets to uncover. But deep down, I also felt it the power that made me more than just an Omega waiting to rise. I woke up to find Magnolia waiting for me, her face tight with unspoken questions. She wanted answers why my strength swings from unbeatable to clumsy in seconds. She couldn't wrap her head around the girl who dominated training yet stumbled at basic tasks. In that moment, I realized I'd been unfair to her expecting gratitude just because she helped me. Mel was right. I didn't owe her anything, but I didn't have to push her away either. I nodded, wordless. We both knew this wasn't over, but for now, the tension broke. I turned to leave, my steps heavy, but Beatrix was right behind me, her hand finding mine. Her small hand in mine felt like a lifeline, grounding me in the chaos of my own mind. As we stepped into my room, I could feel it, the wolf inside me, stirring awake. My skin prickled, my pulse racing. It was hungry, restless, begging for release. I leaned against the wall, breathing hard, trying to keep it under control. My eyes burned, and when I looked in the mirror, they glowed golden, wild, not quite human. Beatrix stepped back, her eyes wide, but she didn't run. She never did. Her scepter glowed faintly, a silent promise that she'd stand with me no matter what. I forced myself to breathe, to push the wolf back. The light faded, but the hunger stayed lingering, waiting. I knew this was only the beginning. The wolf inside me wasn't going to stay quiet for long. Beatrix sat beside me, her hand warm in mine, and for the first time that morning, I felt safe. We didn't need words. We both knew that whatever came next, we'd face it together. But outside, the pack was already waking up, and I could feel the tension in the air. Something was about to change. And deep inside me, the wolf roared. It was time to stop hiding. It was time to rise. When Rolandro called me to the private training room, I knew something was wrong. He'd been watching me, and he'd sensed something I tried to hide. He said my aura felt raw, unyielding, nothing like an ordinary Omega's. I tried to explain, to brush it off as just my wolf's instinct. But the more I spoke, the more I could feel it my wolf stirring, hungry to break free. My hand started to glow, a faint golden light seeping through my skin. Rolandro's eyes widened. He knew exactly what that light meant. Carmelia stood in the doorway, her hand on her sword, watching with wary eyes. I could feel the power building, my wolf taking over, making my bones hum. My eyes shifted, the usual warm brown turning to a sharp wolf gold. I fought to control it, to keep my wolf locked away, but it was no use. Rolandro held up a hand, trying to calm me, to keep me from losing control entirely. Carmelia stepped forward, her sword half drawn, ready to act if I lost it. The light grew brighter, hotter, like my skin was on fire from the inside out. I could hear my own heartbeat, loud in my ears, as the power threatened to burst free. Then the door slammed open, and Mel burst in, his face tight with urgency. He didn't even greet us, he just yelled the words that would change everything. The competition, the one that was supposed to be weeks away, was starting in 7 days. My blood ran cold. I wasn't ready, not nearly ready. And Ralton Pack, my old pack, the ones who hurt me would be there. Suddenly, hiding my power wasn't the only thing I had to worry about. I had 7 days to get ready to face the pack that broke me. And if I didn't control my wolf, I'd lose before I even stepped into the arena. Rolandro looked at me, and I knew he'd help me if I let him. Carmelia sheathed her sword, but her eyes never left me, like she was waiting for me to snap. I left the training room, my mind racing, my wolf still growling beneath my skin. 7 days. I had 7 days to become the warrior I needed to be. And this time, I wouldn't run. I'd fight. For myself, for my new pack, and for the wolf that was finally ready to fight with me. The countdown had started, and there was no turning back. I was finally settling in at Bloodstar Pack when Mel dropped a bombshell that froze me solid. The competition we thought was months away? It's starting in 1 day. No time to train, no time to plan, we had to leave in hours. I pushed through the crowd, my mind racing. This changes everything. But that wasn't the worst part. Rolandro pulled me aside, his voice low and urgent. He told me someone dangerous was coming to the competition, someone I thought I'd escaped forever. Chase. My ex-mate, the wolf who left me to die in the woods. He's been searching for you for months, Lavanna. and he's not here to talk. My hand flew to the sword at my hip, my knuckles white with rage and fear. I could feel Regina's anger and Magnolia's worry, but all I could think about was Chase. I remembered the way he looked when he left me cold, cruel, like I meant nothing to him. I turned and walked to my room, my legs like lead. I had to prepare, but I didn't know where to start. The pack was in chaos, everyone rushing to pack their bags and prepare their weapons. I could feel my dragon power stirring beneath the surface, ready to protect me when I needed it most. I wouldn't run this time. If Chase wanted a fight, he'd get 1-1 he wouldn't forget. My dragon power was waking up, primed to defend me against whatever came next. I packed my bag quickly, shoving in everything I'd need for the fight ahead. I didn't forget the healing potions Carmelia had given me. They might save my life. When I turned, Phoenix was standing in the doorway, his face full of quiet determination. He didn't need to say anything. I knew he'd stand by my side through whatever came next. I squeezed his hand, drawing strength from his unwavering support. We walked to the entrance together, ready to face the storm waiting for us. The rest of the pack was already gathered, their faces set with unbreakable resolve. But as we climbed into the cars, I could feel Chase's eyes on us, watching from the shadows. The final countdown had begun, and I was ready to take back the life Chase had stolen from me. Here I was, scrawny Lavanna, about to flip the strongest wolf in the pack, all thanks to my hidden wolf power. One second I was dodging punches, the next I was launching attacks that made the whole pack gasp. Even Maggie, my closest friend, had no clue I could fight like this. My body moved on its own. Every kick, every punch was pure wolf instinct. Then it vanished. My wolf power was gone, and I was just clumsy, useless me again. I tripped over my own feet, landing hard in the dirt, exactly who everyone expected me to be. I looked up, and there was Phoenix. His face told me he'd been about to ask me to dance. Now he just looked defeated. Carmelia's worried stare cut through me. She knew there was something wrong with my powers. I brushed off the dirt, avoiding everyone's eyes, ready to run and hide. Then the pain hit sharp, burning, like something was tearing me apart from the inside. My vision blurred, and when I blinked, my eyes glowed purple. This wasn't my wolf power. This was something bigger. The pack screamed, stepping back like I was a monster. I didn't blame them. Something was definitely wrong with me. Mel tried to reach me, but a wave of power pushed him back. This new strength was dangerous, and I couldn't control it. I looked at my arm, and there it was, faint dragon scales glowing under my skin. I wasn't just a wolf. I was something more. The pain got worse, and I stumbled back, knowing I couldn't stay here, not when I might hurt someone. Then I heard Phoenix's voice, calling my name, running toward me like he didn't care that I might hurt him too. I collapsed into his arms, the pain still burning, but at least I wasn't alone anymore. I clung to him, whispering that I didn't know what was happening, that I was scared. Rolandro barked orders, telling everyone to clear the way. We had to get me to safety, and fast. As Phoenix carried me away, I knew this was just the start. Whatever was inside me was waking up, and there was no stopping it. That night, a searing pain ripped through my abdomen, worse than any wolf shift I'd ever felt. I thought I was alone until I felt Beatrix's gentle hand on my shoulder. Then her voice echoed in my mind, Oceana, the dragon part of me, awakening at last. She said Phoenix's acceptance triggered this, my dragon form breaking free earlier than expected. The final shift would be the most painful one yet, she warned me. I felt my strength slipping. I couldn't fight it anymore. My body gave out, crashing against the mattress. Beatrix didn't hesitate. She pulled a blanket over me, her face tight with worry. Just as I drifted off, I heard voices outside the door, Phoenix, begging to see me. But Mel's voice was sharp, final telling him to leave, that I needed rest. I wanted to call out, to let him in, but I was too weak to even speak. Sleep pulled me under, heavy and unforgiving, but my mind wouldn't quiet down. I couldn't stop thinking about tomorrow, what this dragon shift would mean for me, for the pack. Would they accept the dragon part of me? Or would I become an outcast all over again? Beatrix's golden scepter glowed faintly beside her quiet protection, a promise she'd keep me safe. For the first time in years, I felt like I had someone who wouldn't abandon me. But that piece was fragile. I knew tomorrow would change everything, for better or for worse. What would Phoenix say when he saw what I was? Would he still accept me? The dragon power hummed under my skin, waiting, hungry for full release. I clung to Beatrix's warmth, her quiet strength, as the darkness took me completely. I had no idea what tomorrow would bring, but I knew I couldn't run from my dragon any longer. Tomorrow, I'd have to face the truth about who I really was, and what I was capable of. Outside, Phoenix lingered, his shadow stretching across the floor. He wasn't giving up that easily. I stumbled into the kitchen at dawn, my body still aching from the transformation. Carmelia found me, no questions asked, just handed me this warm soup. The warmth spread through me. But I still felt that familiar unease. Then he appeared Phoenix, looking more regretful than I'd ever seen him. He apologized for pushing me to dance, for not respecting my boundaries. I nodded. I couldn't stay angry, not when he looked so broken. He reached for me, then froze, afraid he'd overstep again. Carmelia squeezed my shoulder, a silent reminder we weren't alone. Then the door slammed open. Mel, his face white as a sheet. He blurted the words that made my blood run cold. The black sorcerer was looking for me. I shot to my feet, my chair scraping across the floor. He's near Ralton Pack? Phoenix's face hardened, his hand flying to the sword at his hip. Carmelia's smile faded, her hand resting on her own weapon. The warmth of the kitchen vanished. We were all suddenly very, very alert. A low growl rumbled in my chest. He won't find me that easily. He's not just near Ralton, he's hunting, and he's getting closer. I stepped to the door, staring out into the dark. We weren't safe here anymore. My fingers curled around the doorknob, ready to face whatever came next. Carmelia quietly cleaned up the soup, but none of us could relax. Not now. And then I saw it, a shadow, moving in the dark. He was already here. I wrenched the door open, but the shadow was gone. Only the cold air remained. Carmelia called out, her voice steady but wary. "Lavana, come back inside." We stood there for a long moment, listening. The pack was silent, too silent. My eyes burned, that familiar purple glow spreading. He wants me, he'll regret it. Rolandro called me to the training room again. His eyes held a cold suspicion I couldn't ignore. The air in the private training room felt thick, like he could sense the dragon power I tried so hard to hide. I tried to explain, but my hands started glowing. My dragon spirit was breaking free against my will. My eyes burned purple. I could feel the power surging, impossible to contain any longer. Carmelia watched from the doorway. She didn't look shocked. She knew exactly what I was. Rolandro stepped back, his jaw tightening. He could feel the raw, ancient power rolling off me now. The dragon power took over entirely, purple light swirling around me like a storm I couldn't control. Carmelia's hand hovered over her sword, not to fight, but to protect me from whatever came next. The training room door crashed open, a pack guard stumbling in, his face pale with urgency. He held up a crumpled poster, his voice shaking as he spoke words that made my blood run cold. Chase put a bounty on my head, dead or alive. He wanted me found at any cost. My dragon rage boiled over. Chase didn't just want revenge, he wanted to erase me completely. Rolandro said nothing, but his eyes told me everything he'd have to make a choice now. Carmelia stepped forward, her gaze locking with mine. She was with me, no matter what happened. The guard backed away, his eyes wide. He'd never seen a dragon shifter this powerful before. I forced the dragon power back, my breathing ragged. I had to stay in control for all our sakes. The training room fell silent, the air thick with unspoken words and growing danger. Rolandro opened his mouth, but before he could speak, a second guard's scream echoed from the hall. Chase's men were already searching the pack grounds. They weren't waiting for the bounty they were here to kill. I gripped my sword, my dragon spirit roaring to life. This time, I wouldn't run. I'd fight back no matter the cost. My sword glowed with dragon fire, matching the purple light in my eyes. The fight was about to begin. Rolandro and Carmelia stood beside me, their swords drawn. We'd faced Chase's men together, wolf, witch, and dragon united. I thought we were just taking a quiet walk in the woods. But Phoenix had something heavy to say. He apologized first, his voice softer than I'd ever heard it for pushing me too hard, for not respecting my boundaries. Then, he dropped the bombshell. He's not just a wizard. He's an alpha wolf wizard hybrid. He's been hiding his powers just like me, scared of being rejected for what he is. For the first time in forever, I didn't feel like I was carrying this secret alone. He showed me the proof: sharper nails, faint wolf-like markings on his wrists. Then he summoned a faint magical glow, proof of his wizard heritage, hidden for years. My own powers stirred in response. Like our hidden magic was calling to each other. We hugged, and for a second, all my fears about the future felt lighter. But the peace didn't last long. I spotted Mel waiting at the pack entrance, his face tight with urgency. We ran over, my heart already pounding. I knew whatever he had to say wasn't good. He didn't waste any time. The competition isn't next week. It's tomorrow. My blood ran cold. My revenge plan was supposed to have days more to prepare. All the training, all the planning. It all had to be crammed into one single night. But I couldn't back down, not after everything I'd survived to get here. Phoenix squeezed my hand, silently promising he'd fight by my side no matter what. Mel handed over the official notice: no extensions, no second chances. We headed inside, already mentally racing to adjust every part of my plan. My revenge was coming sooner than I thought, and I was ready to take it. Tomorrow, I'd face my enemies head on, and this time, I wouldn't be holding back. Phoenix had already switched to his battle robes, his sword ready at his hip. I shifted into my own training gear, every muscle already tensed for the night ahead. The training grounds were already lit up, waiting for us to push ourselves to the limit. Night had fallen on Bloodstar Pack's guest room, and I was packing for the make-or-break competition. Phoenix stood guard with his sword drawn, while Beatrix huddled on the bed, her fear practically tangible. Her golden wand, usually a source of courage, felt like a fragile stick in her shaking grasp. I was about to speak when a sound sliced through the quiet, a cold, mocking laugh from outside. The laugh was icy and familiar. In an instant, every muscle in my body tensed with dread. I knew that laugh. It belonged to the dark sorcerer who'd been hunting us for weeks. Phoenix moved to block me instantly, his sword held steady as he scanned the window. Beatrix found her courage, lifting her golden wand until its faint light cut through the dark. I crept toward the window, my palm pressing against the cold glass as I strained to see outside. And there he was, standing in the shadows, his dark staff glowing faintly with unholy power. Phoenix's sword snapped up, his gaze sharp as he locked onto our enemy's position. My hand closed around the doorknob, my whole body ready for the fight we both knew was coming. Beatrix's wand flared to life, casting warm light that banished the worst of the room's shadows. A wicked smile spread across his face, sharp teeth glinting in the faint moonlight filtering through the trees. We formed a defensive triangle, each of us ready to fight for our lives against the darkness outside. The doorknob began to rattle softly, a sound that echoed through the silent room like a death knell. I could feel my heart hammering in my chest, but I refused to let fear paralyze me. Phoenix's sword glinted menacingly, his gaze never leaving the door as the rattling grew louder. Beatrix was sweating, but her wand burned brighter than ever, a beacon of defiance in the dark. With a deafening crash, the door burst open, and the dark sorcerer stepped inside, ready to finish what he'd started. I stand at Bloodstar Pack's entrance at dawn, the pack gathered to see me off. Every wolf's eyes hold hope and quiet worry for what lies ahead of me. Mel, our gruff but caring trainer, steps forward to speak his mind. "Prove every doubter wrong," he says, clapping my shoulder firmly. His words burn in my chest, fueling the fire that drives me forward. Regina pulls Beatrix close, her usual sharp edge softened by warm sisterhood. My sworn sister holds on tight, silently promising to fight by my side. Rolandro approaches, his serious aura more intense than I've ever seen it. He hands me a detailed map, his voice low with urgent warning. "Watch for dark wizards," he says. "They'll hunt you at every single turn." I grip the map tightly, my resolve unshakable despite the chill in the air. The pack bows in unison, a silent vow of unwavering support. I turn toward the waiting car, my steps steady despite the fear in my heart. Phoenix stands by the car, his purple eyes filled with unwavering loyalty. He opens the door for me, his touch gentle but full of purpose. The car rumbles to life, carrying us away from the only home I've known. As we drive off, my gaze locks on a strange shadow in the trees. A dark wizard watches us, his eyes glinting with malicious intent. I lean over to Phoenix, my voice tight with urgency. "We're being followed." He follows my gaze, his face hardening with fierce determination. The car speeds up, but I know the dark wizard won't be easily shaken off. I rest my hand on my sword, ready to face whatever danger comes our way. The road stretches ahead, full of unknown danger and unspoken promise. I won't let them stop me, not when so much is at stake for all of us. I thought we'd left him behind, but that dark sorcerer was right on our tail, gaining with every second. Phoenix slammed on the gas, but we were running out of road and time. Then it hit his car, rammed ours, sending us spinning off the road into a ditch. The world spun, metal crumpled, and we crashed hard into the dirt below. We scrambled out, weapons in hand, ready to face whatever he threw at us next. He stepped out, eyes glowing with dark magic, his staff pulsing with power I'd never felt before. We formed a defensive line, ready to meet his attack head-on, but something was changing in me. A heat spread through my veins, my eyes burning purple, my dragon powers were finally waking up. He unleashed a wave of dark magic, black and swirling, aimed straight for us. Beatrix raised her golden staff, light gathering at its tip to shield us from the blast. Phoenix drew his sword, ready to charge, but I held up a hand I could handle this. My hand glowed purple, the dragon magic surging to the surface. This was my fight now. The magic erupted around me, purple light coating my skin, making me feel stronger than ever before. His confident smirk faded to shock. He hadn't expected me to fight back with this much power. I launched my magic straight at his, purple clashing with black in an explosion of light. The light blinded us for a second, but when it cleared, I knew I was no longer the one running. Phoenix and Beatrix stared at me, surprise and trust in their eyes. They knew I'd changed. The sorcerer stepped back, his eyes blazing with fury. He wasn't done with us yet. I stepped forward, purple magic swirling around me, ready to take the fight to him once and for all. My eyes burned purple, the magic coiling in my palm. This was how it would end. My dragon power finally blazed to life. I launched ice chains at the dark sorcerer, ready to fight back. We were trapped in this ditch, the air thick with dark magic. He thought he had me cornered. I summoned ice chains from my palms, their cold power crackling in the air. The chains shot forward fast. I thought this would trap him for sure, but he dodged like it was nothing, the chains slamming into the dirt behind him. Phoenix charged from behind, sword swinging to catch him off guard, but the sorcerer blocked him with his staff, sending Phoenix stumbling back. Beatrix raised her golden scepter, channeling light magic to help us. Her magic shot toward him, bright and fierce. He swatted it away like it was a fly. We were running out of options. I gathered all my strength into a fireball, ready to unleash everything. The fireball shot forward, roaring with all my rage, but he sent it right back at me. I dove out of the way just in time. He stepped closer, his dark aura pressing down on me. I thought it was over. My heart raced as I stepped back, trapped and out of tricks. Then headlights cut through the gloom. A car was speeding toward us. It was Mel and Regina. They'd come to save us, charging right into the ditch. They skidded to a stop, jumping out with swords drawn, ready to fight. The sorcerer stopped, his eyes narrowing at the new threat. I ran to stand beside them, our small group facing the dark sorcerer together. Mel's fists clenched, rage burning in his eyes. He wouldn't let this sorcerer hurt us. Regina held her sword steady, her gaze sharp and unyielding. Me and the pack were cornered in that ditch, facing the dark sorcerer who'd hunted us for weeks. Mel charged first, claws slashing at the sorcerer's robes. Regina was right behind him, hands glowing with magic. The sorcerer blocked easily, his dark staff crackling with power. We were outmatched, and I knew it. I channeled every bit of dragon power I had, lightning coiling around my fingers. I unleashed it straight at his car, flames erupted, trapping him for a split second. That was Phoenix's chance. His sword sliced through the sorcerer's arm, drawing dark blood. He roared in rage, promising he'd destroy everything we loved once he escaped. Before we could stop him, he vanished into the dense forest, his laughter echoing behind him. Mel collapsed first, his body battered from the fight. Regina rushed to his side, tears in her eyes. I wasn't much better. My arms burned from channeling so much magic, cuts covering my skin. Phoenix was by my side instantly, his gaze softening as he saw my injuries. We were all bruised, broken, but alive. That's what mattered, right? But as I stared at the forest, I couldn't shake the feeling he'd be back. Regina used the last of her magic to heal Mel's worst wounds. her hands glowing faintly. The sorcerer's car still burned behind us, smoke curling into the midday sky. Slowly, we helped each other up, ready to make our way back to the pack. But I knew this wasn't the end. The real fight was just beginning. Beatrix stayed on guard, her golden scepter at the ready for any surprise attack. We walked away from that ditch, but we carried the sorcerer's threat with us. And as my eyes glowed purple with leftover dragon magic, I swore I'd be ready for him next time. Every step back to the pack felt heavier than the last, but we didn't stop. Regina never let Mel slip, her grip steady even when her own legs shook. We stumbled to the competition grounds, our bodies still throbbing from the sorcerer's attack. We barely escaped with our lives, but the fight was far from over. Carmelia patched up Mel's wounds, but we all knew the sorcerer would return. I squeezed Phoenix's bandaged arm, grateful he was still by my side. We huddled together, waiting for the next strike we knew was coming. Beatrix clutched her scepter, her eyes wide with fear we all felt. Then Rolandro stepped forward, his voice sharp with warning. "He'll come back," he said. "We can't let our guard down." My blood ran cold. The sorcerer's face flashed in my mind, cold and cruel. I pushed myself to my feet, my muscles screaming in protest. I scanned the crowd, searching for any sign of the sorcerer's return. But I didn't find the sorcerer. I found him. Chase. Anger, hurt, betrayal, every emotion hit me at once when our eyes met. His hand curled into a fist, and I could see the hatred burning in his eyes. I clenched my own fists, my body going rigid with the need to fight back. Beatrix noticed my tension, her eyes softening with worry for me. Even Carmelia paused, her gaze flicking to me with unspoken concern. The whole world seemed to freeze in that moment, our stare holding all the pain of our past. But beneath the pain, I felt something else, a spark of resolve. I took a deep breath. Whatever came next, I wouldn't back down. Chase's eyes widened, like he didn't expect me to stand my ground. Midday sun blazed over the arena, our battle royale was finally starting, and I knew who my real target was. I pushed through the chaos, my eyes fixed on the one person who'd made my life a living hell, Chase. "You're still alive?" he sneered, like my survival was some kind of joke to him. I dove to the side, his sword slicing through empty air. I'd spent too long preparing to let him hit me now. I rolled back to my feet, fingers glowing with cold blue magic. It was time to make him regret every single thing he'd done. I launched my ice chains, aiming to pin him in place and make him pay for what he'd done to me. But he dodged, faster than I expected. He'd been training for this fight too, just like me. I didn't hesitate. I darted around him, using the chaos of the arena to mask my movements. I drove my foot into his back, putting every ounce of my rage into that single kick. He flew forward, crashing into the ground hard. For a second, I thought it was over. I panted, watching him struggle to get up. I wasn't done, not until he understood the pain he'd caused. Then a roar cut through the crowd. Blake, his father, screaming from the stands. "Kill her, Chase," he shrieked. "She's a monster and she deserves to die." I looked up at him, my blood boiling. He was the reason Chase had become the monster he was. My eyes flared purple, my dragon power surfacing. I wouldn't let either of them win, not today, not ever. I walked toward him, slow and steady. This wasn't just a battle anymore, it was a reckoning. Chase pushed himself up, his face white with fear. For the first time, he looked like he knew he might lose. Blake's screams kept echoing, but I tuned him out. All that mattered was standing here, facing my abuser. I clenched my fist, magic surging through me. I was going to finish this once and for all. No more running, no more hiding. This was where I took back my power, my life, my freedom. I held my sword to Chase's throat, victory finally mine, but something felt wrong. The arena roared, but my senses were screaming danger. Chase's face drained of color, fear written all over him. Blake burst into the arena, screaming threats, but guards held him back. The referee raised my hand officially, declaring me the winner. The crowd erupted in cheers. They loved seeing the underdog win. The whole arena shook with their excitement. Everyone celebrated my victory. But I didn't celebrate. I scanned the shadows, my instincts screaming. And there he was, the dark sorcerer, watching from the shadows. Rogue wolves snarled beside him, their red eyes glowing, ready to attack. My dragon power flared to life, my eyes glowing purple, ready for fight. Phoenix was beside me instantly, drawing his sword to defend us. Beatrix gripped her scepter, magic already humbling at her fingertips. The crowd still cheered, oblivious to the danger lurking in the dark. The sorcerer's staff glowed with dark magic. He was ready to strike. The wolves tensed, their claws scraping the ground. They were seconds from attack. We formed a defensive circle, ready to face whatever came our way. The arena split into two worlds, light and dark, celebration and doom. I wouldn't let them ruin this. Victory was mine, and I'd defend it. And with a wave of his staff, the dark sorcerer began his attack. I tightened my grip on my sword, ready to meet whatever came. The wolves' red eyes locked on us, hungry for blood. Phoenix stood firm, his sword held steady to protect us from the wolves. Beatrix's hands glowed with light. She was ready to unleash her magic. The arena went silent. Everyone knew the real fight was just beginning. Midday in the arena, chaos erupted. Rogue wolves poured in, and I knew our fight had just begun. The stands turned into chaos as rogue wolves lunged at terrified spectators. We had to act fast. Screams filled the air. These weren't just any wolves, they were corrupted, their eyes glowing red with rage. Phoenix stood beside me, sword drawn. Back to back, we cut through the first wave of attackers. Then Mel and Regina charged from behind, their swords swinging, clearing a path through the chaos. Mel's brute strength was unmatched. He sent a rogue wolf flying with one powerful strike. Rolandro and Carmelia joined the fray, their coordinated attacks turning the tide for a moment. Carmelia's elegant strikes were deadly precise, each hit finding its mark. The arena became a battlefield, bodies littering the ground as we fought to protect the innocent. I channeled my dragon magic, summoning a fireball to incinerate a group of approaching wolves. The fireball exploded, sending wolves flying in all directions. We had a brief moment to breathe. That's when I saw him, Blake, standing beside the dark sorcerer. My blood ran cold. Blake had allied with our enemy. The sorcerer's staff glowed with dark energy, and we were trapped. The sorcerer unleashed a wave of dark magic, pushing us back, forcing us to defend ourselves. Phoenix and I raised our swords to block the magic, sending shockwaves through our bodies. We were surrounded, outnumbered, and outmatched. The fight was far from over. Regina cried out, a wolf's claw tearing through her arm. We were losing ground fast. I felt my dragon power surge, my eyes glowing purple. I wouldn't let them win. I unleashed a lightning bolt, splitting the sky, and struck at the sorcerer's forces. The sorcerer dodged, laughing. He was waiting for something worse. I charged at him, sword raised, ready to end this once and for all. But Blake stepped in front of him, sword drawn, his face twisted with hatred. You think you can defeat us, traitor? He snarled. I didn't flinch. Our team regrouped, ready to face whatever came next. This was going to be our toughest fight yet. The noon sun blazed down on the arena, and something inside me finally snapped. My dragon power was fully awake. The arena erupted into chaos as the rogue wolves scattered. They had no chance against my lightning. My eyes burned purple, and I could feel dragon scales shimmering under my skin. This was true power. I hurled lightning after lightning, each strike sending the wolves flying like ragdolls. When the smoke cleared, half the rogue wolves were down, but the dark sorcerer wasn't done. He lunged at me, his dark staff crackling with forbidden magic. I summoned icy chains from thin air, coiling them tight around his limbs before he could strike. Phoenix cut in, sword raised, blocking Blake from charging at me. The chains tightened, cutting off his air, and his face turned a sickly blue as he struggled. I let out a shaky breath, finally letting my power fade. We had won, or so I thought. Then I heard a voice from the crowd, so familiar it made my blood run cold. I spun around, my body tensing again, scanning the crowd for the source. There he was, standing in the shadows, someone I thought I'd never see again. The arena went dead silent, every eye locked on him like we were all holding our breath. My dragon power surged back to life, purple flaring in my eyes. I was ready for whatever came next. Phoenix tightened his grip on his sword, standing shoulder to shoulder with me, ready to fight. The entire arena felt like it was holding its breath, waiting for what would happen next. The dark sorcerer lay unconscious at our feet, but he was the least of our problems now. I clenched my fists until my knuckles whitened, my mind racing with all the questions I needed answers to. He stepped forward, his face coming into clear view, and I realized this was only the beginning of a whole new nightmare. I froze mid-fight, a familiar voice cutting through the arena's roar. He was here, the father who'd left me to die so many years ago. Blake's snarl died on his lips. He never expected this interruption. Each step felt like a hammer blow, dragging up all the pain I'd buried. He stopped just feet away, and I could see the guilt etched into every line of his face. I'm sorry, he whispered. I ran to save myself and left you to die. I couldn't speak. All the anger and grief I'd locked away threatened to burst free. Blake recovered first, his roar shaking the stands. This changes nothing. Phoenix stepped beside me, sword drawn, his silent support a lifeline in the chaos. I should have paid more attention to the fallen sorcerer. That was my fatal mistake. His eyes snapped open, glowing with a dark power I'd felt before, deadlier than ever. He rose to his feet, his dark aura spreading like poison across the arena floor. The arena descended into chaos. We were trapped, surrounded by enemies on all sides. My father's eyes flashed gold. I won't abandon you again, Lavanna. This ends now. Blake lunged first, his claws aimed straight for my throat. Phoenix blocked him, sword meeting claw with a shower of sparks. Not on my watch. The sorcerer raised his staff, a black fireball forming at its tip. You all die today. My dragon power flared to life, purple light exploding from my eyes. I was ready to finish this. My power washed over the arena, freezing everyone mid-move. For a second, all was silent. The sorcerer's face paled. He'd never faced a dragon shifter like me before. My father stood beside me, half-shifted into his wolf form. Together, he said. His spell was unraveling, the dark magic turning against its caster. Blake stumbled back, realizing he was trapped between me and the sorcerer's failing magic. We formed a triangle, ready to strike. The final battle was about to begin. I summoned a bolt of lightning, its purple energy crackling in my palm. This was it. I came for revenge in the arena, but the dark sorcerer had far worse plans for us. My dragon power blazed to life. I wasn't letting him turn this arena into a slaughterhouse. His dark magic crackled toward me, heavy, toxic, hungry for my power. My father slipped behind him, sword raised, our secret chance to turn this fight around. But the sorcerer saw him coming. His staff sent my father flying like a ragdoll. Rage burned through me. This wasn't just my fight anymore, it was for my family. I summoned my ice chains, cold, unyielding, perfect to trap his cursed staff. With a yank, his staff went flying, his greatest weapon, useless in the dirt. Phoenix didn't waste a second. He charged, sword blazing, ready to end this. His sword sank deep into the sorcerer's chest. The arena fell dead silent. The sorcerer stumbled back, eyes widening with shock. For once, he looked scared. My dragon power faded, leaving me shaky but alive. We'd done it. We'd won. But as he fell, I saw it in his eyes this wasn't the end. He'd be back. My father pulled himself up, bruised but standing. He smiled at me proud, relieved. Phoenix held him up, waiting for the guards to take him away. The arena erupted in cheers. As my father's hand closed around mine, I knew we'd fought for more than revenge. We'd fought for each other. Phoenix joined us, his sword still in hand. We stood together tired, broken, but unbeatable. As the guards dragged the sorcerer away, the cheers grew louder. But I couldn't shake that cold feeling in my gut. Something was coming. Something bigger, darker than any sorcerer we'd ever faced. The sun began to set, painting the sky red. We had a victory to celebrate, but first, we had to prepare. The midday sun blazed over the arena, chaos still lingering in the air. Then I saw him. Blake, the man who'd hated my family, walking toward my dad. He bowed his head, his voice thick with regret. I was wrong. I'm sorry. My dad nodded, his face softening. In this world, even enemies can find redemption. Before I could process it, the referee was at my side, lifting my hand high. Lavana of Bloodstar Pack, you have earned the right to challenge the Alpha. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices shaking the very stands. I stepped forward, raising my hand to silence the crowd. I had something to say. I don't want to be Alpha. I never did. All I want is peace for our kind. The crowd fell silent, then erupted in cheers louder than before. They got it. But my dad's face was serious as he walked toward me. This wasn't over. There's something you need to know, daughter. Something I should have told you long ago. When he spoke, my eyes widened. I wasn't just a Tribird Omega. I was the chosen one. You were born to save our world, to unite all wolf packs and end the darkness that plagues us. As he spoke, a faint purple glow began to emanate from my skin, my dragon powers awakening fully. I looked over at Phoenix, his eyes filled with pride. He'd been with me every step of the way. Beatrix raised her scepter, her eyes shining with determination. We were in this together. The sun seemed to shine brighter, as if the moon goddess herself was watching over us. I clenched my fists, my shock turning to resolve. I was ready to embrace my destiny. But in the shadows, someone was watching, and I could feel that our true challenge was just beginning. I was the chosen one, and I would save our world, no matter what it cost. My dad smiled, pride shining in his eyes. I knew you were ready, my daughter. Surrounded by those I loved, I knew we could face anything that came our way. I thought I'd caught my breath in this tent, then my dad dropped a truth that shattered everything. The Black Sorcerer wasn't working alone. His master is something far worse than any wolf I've faced. A dark dragon shifter. He's gathering forces to attack every wolf pack in the region. My mind raced. A dragon shifter? I'd only heard tales of them in old wolf legends. And he's not just attacking random packs, he's coming for all of us, for every last wolf that stands in his way. Then my dad looked at me, and his words hit me like a punch to the gut. You're the only one who can stop him, Lavana. Your dragon blood makes you his equal, his only match. I felt it then faint, but undeniable. The dragon power within me stirring awake. Before I could speak, Phoenix's hand found mine. His grip was steady, his resolve unshakable. I'm with you, he said without words. Whatever comes, we face it together. I turned to Beatrix, and she was already ready. Her golden scepter glowed, her eyes sharp with purpose. Magic hummed in the air around her. She wasn't just along for the ride, she was ready to fight. We couldn't waste another second. The dragon shifter wasn't going to wait for us to be ready. My steps felt lighter, surer. For the first time in my life, I knew exactly what I was meant to do. My dad watched me, his eyes a mix of pride and fear. I knew he was scared for me, but he also knew I could do this. Phoenix had already switched to his battle robes, his sword at his hip. He was ready to fight, no matter what came our way. Beatrix kept pace, her scepter glowing brighter with every step. She was quiet, but I could feel her power building. We walked in silence, but our minds were racing. What would we find when we got back to Bloodstar Pack? I knew the road ahead would be dangerous. I knew we might not all make it through. But I also knew one thing. Whatever came, we faced it together. And I would stop that dragon shifter no matter the cost. The dragon power inside me was growing, pulsing through my veins like a second heartbeat. Phoenix's sword was old, well used, but I knew it was sharp enough to cut through dragon scales if it had to. Beatrix's scepter hummed with magic, a soft golden light that cut through the afternoon gloom. My dad walked behind us, quiet, but watchful. I knew he was already planning, already thinking of how to protect the pack. The sun was sinking lower, casting long shadows behind us. We knew we had to hurry, time was running out. Every step felt like a promise to protect my pack, to stop that monster, to finally take control of my fate. Phoenix was scanning the woods, his eyes sharp. He knew we could be ambushed at any moment, and he was ready for it. Beatrix was muttering under her breath, casting small protective spells around us. She was making sure we were safe no matter what. I saw my dad's hand tighten around a vial of healing potion. He was ready to patch us up, ready to keep us alive. Then we saw it Bloodstar Pack's gates, standing tall in the distance. Home. But would it still be safe when we got there? We stumbled back to Bloodstar Pack, battered but alive. The fight was far from over. Mel and Regina were waiting, grinning like we'd already won. But I could feel darkness lingering. Rolandro stepped forward, his stern look gone. For once, he didn't have harsh words. I dragged my feet inside, every muscle screaming, but I couldn't let them see how broken I was. For a moment, we let ourselves breathe, but that peace wouldn't last long. Mel clapped my shoulder, rough but proud. You held your own out there, he said. Regina pulled Beatrix into a hug. The kid looked like she'd never felt so safe. I caught Rolando and my dad talking quietly. Their faces told me we had bigger problems. A chill ran down my spine. I walked to the window, dreading what I might see. My breath caught. Outside, the sky was swallowed by dark, roiling clouds. They weren't natural. Those clouds. They were alive, and they were heading straight for us. Heavy footsteps behind me. My dad didn't need to say anything to know I saw it. He stood beside me, his face grim. "You felt it too," he said. "The dark dragon shifter is coming." I froze. The dark dragon shifter? The one they said was unstoppable? He was here for us. The room went dead silent. Everyone knew what this meant. We weren't just fighting for us anymore. Mel's fist clenched so hard I heard his knuckles crack. "We'll meet him head on," he growled. Rolando unfurled a map on the table. "We need every wolf pack at our side," he said. "All of them." I looked around at them. My family, my pack. We might be outnumbered, but we weren't weak. We leaned in, voices low, planning our next move. This wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a fight for all wolf packs. I stared at the map, my resolve hardening. Whatever it took, we would stop him. We had to. Outside, the clouds crept closer, swallowing the last of the sunlight. The dark dragon shifter was coming, and he wouldn't stop until we were gone. I pressed my hand to the cold glass, feeling the darkness through it. This was just the beginning. The real fight was about to start. I pushed myself to the limit in midnight training, a terrible premonition gnawing at my bones. My packmates fight alongside me, each sharpening skills for the storm we all sense coming. Mel's always my toughest test. His reflexes are faster than any wolf I've ever faced. I channel my dragon fire, launching a fireball straight at his unguarded side. But he dodges it effortlessly, like he read every thought in my mind before I acted. He gives me a rare half-smile proof I'm finally keeping up with his pace. Phoenix holds his own against our alpha, their swords clashing with ear-splitting force. Beatrix's magic grows stronger by the day, her staff glowing with unshakable light. Regina counters every spell with precision, pushing Beatrix to refine her skills further. My father watches from the sidelines, his gaze following every move we make. He calls out that we're finally ready to face whatever comes for us. I turn to glance at the window, my blood running cold at what I see. The dark cloud with crimson streaks is closer, way closer than it was yesterday. I clench my fists, knowing the real test isn't just training, it's surviving what's coming. We keep training, but none of us miss the cloud creeping closer. Our calm is only a mask. My dragon power stirs beneath my skin, ready to unleash when the time comes. Phoenix lands a solid strike, proving he's more than just a pretty-faced wizard. Beatrix refuses to back down, even when Regina's spells push her to her limit. Mel charges again, forcing me to switch from magic to hand-to-hand combat in an instant. Father signals us to stop his voice low when he says, "We need to talk, now." I can see the gravity in his face. Whatever he's about to say will change everything. I was just trying to rest in the guest room, until a cold sound froze me to the bone. Phoenix and Beatrix were right there with me, worn out from our day's battles. That sound wasn't just wind. I could feel it. Darkness was outside our door. I slid out of bed, every muscle quiet, slowly creeping toward the window to investigate. The room felt tiny all of a sudden, like it was closing in around us. My hand hovered over the curtain, terrified of what I'd see, but I had to look. I pulled back just a sliver, and my blood turned to ice in my veins. A dark dragon shifter, towering and menacing, stood right outside our door. His eyes glowed red, hungry, cruel, ready to destroy everything we'd built. I spun around, voice stuck in my throat, trying to warn Phoenix and Beatrix. Phoenix was already on his feet, his hand on his sword, face hard with determination. Beatrix grabbed her golden scepter, her sleepy eyes now blazing with fight. We formed a tight circle, my dragon power waking up, my eyes tingling purple. The door rattled, a low thud shaking the frame they were coming in. My dragon power fully awakened eyes, deep purple, skin shimmering with faint scales. Our powers merged, the air thrumming with energy, ready to meet darkness head on. The door crashed open, and the horde poured in. Our final fight had begun. I raised my hand, a crackling lightning bolt forming in my palm, ready to strike. Phoenix charged first, his sword swinging fast, cutting through the first attacker. Beatrix waved her scepter, firing blasts that sent attackers flying back. The guest room turned into a battlefield, chaos erupting as we fought for our lives. My lightning bolt struck true, sending a shifter crashing down, smoke curling from his scales. Phoenix was surrounded, but he fought back with every ounce of strength, striking again and again. Beatrix took a hit, stumbled, but she didn't fall, firing a stronger blast to knock him away. I summoned a fireball, hurling it into the crowd, exploding in a burst of searing flame. A shifter lunged at me, claws out, but I ducked just in time, wind brushing my skin. I grabbed his arm, using dragon strength to hurl him across the room, crashing into the wall. Phoenix's sword sliced through a shifter's arm, a howl of pain echoing through the room. Beatrix threw up a full shield, blocking attacks, giving us a second to breathe. I glanced out. There were more of them, gathering outside, ready to overwhelm us. We couldn't stay trapped. We had to fight our way out, or we'd die here. I charged for the door, breaking through the line, Phoenix and Beatrix right behind me. We burst into the hallway, shifters hot on our heels, the pack waking up to chaos. Then I saw Mel, running toward us with his sword, ready to join the fight. Mel joined Phoenix, their swords working in tandem, cutting down attackers left and right. Beatrix blasted the chandelier, sending it crashing down, slowing the shifters for a moment. I let loose a massive lightning bolt, sweeping through the crowd, clearing a path forward. Phoenix's sword drove through a shifter's chest, his life fading with a final gurgle. Beatrix grabbed an injured young wolf, pulling him to safety, her scepter still glowing to protect him. Rolandro arrived with more pack members, the tide of the fight starting to turn in our favor. I faced off against the lead shifter, twice my size, his scales black and menacing, red eyes boring into me. I threw a punch wreathed in purple energy, forcing him back, a growl escaping my throat. Phoenix and Mel joined me, surrounding the leader, ready to take him down for good. The leader lunged, I ducked, Phoenix blocked, and Mel struck from the side we had him trapped. I summoned ice chains, wrapping them around his legs, freezing him in place, his roars shaking the halls. We attacked at once. His reign of terror was finally coming to an end. His red eyes faded, his body went limp, and the fight was over for now. We stood over his body, breathless, exhausted, but we'd won. We'd survived. The pack gathered, tending to the injured, cleaning up the mess. The darkness had been pushed back for now, but I knew this wasn't the end. More darkness would come, and we'd be ready to fight again. I thought we'd found safety, but the night at Bloodstar Pack entrance brought unspeakable horror. Hordes of dark shifters flooded in red eyes, glowing, ready to tear our home apart. Phoenix, Beatrix, and I didn't hesitate. We raised our weapons, ready to fight for our pack. Beatrix's golden scepter flared to life. She wove spells to hold our fragile line. Just when we were outnumbered, Mel and Regina charged in to back us up. Then Rolandro and Carmelia joined the fray, our pack's leaders standing with us. I felt the dragon power surge in me, purple light coiled around my hands, ready to strike. I unleashed the lightning purple arcs, tore through the night, sending dark shifters flying. The tide turned our enemies scattered, fleeing the power they couldn't withstand. But the victory was short-lived. Something far worse emerged from the shadows. His golden eyes burned with malice. This wasn't just another dark shifter. He stepped fully into the light, tall, scaled, and radiating power I'd never felt before. My blood ran cold. This foe was beyond anything we'd faced yet. Phoenix drew his sword, his purple eyes never leaving the threat before us. Beatrix's scepter blazed brighter. She was weaving her most powerful defensive spell. We stood together, a united front against the impossible. And then he spoke, his voice like grinding stone, full of cruel mockery. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered. "The pack's so-called defenders are just toys to me." Something snapped in me, the dragon power fully awakened, burning through every vein. I stepped forward, power surging around me. This ends here one way or another. Lightning crackled in my palms this time. It wasn't just defense, it was judgment. He laughed, summoning a shield of dark energy to meet my strike. Phoenix readied his sword. He wasn't letting me face this alone. Beatrix unleashed a golden beam of magic. Our combined power would break him. We struck as one, magic, steel, and fury crashing against his dark defense. The dark dragon shifter was here, and he wasn't holding back. My dragon spirit roared to the surface, eyes blazing purple. The air at Bloodstar Pack's entrance reeked of smoke and sulfur. This was going to be a fight to the finish. He launched a fireball straight for my chest, fast, deadly, no mercy left in his eyes. I dove to the side, the fireball exploding behind me with a deafening boom. Singed hair stung my neck. I didn't waste a second. Ice chains burst from my palms, cold enough to freeze the air around them. The chains coiled around him, but he just laughed. His scales glowed with dark power, ready to break free. With a roar, he shattered the ice. Shards flew everywhere, cutting my cheek as they passed. Now he retaliated. Lightning crackled between his fingers, bright enough to blind me. I rolled backward just in time. The lightning struck the ground, leaving a smoldering crater in its wake. Then I heard it, my father's battle cry, coming from behind the beast. He'd come to help. His sword sliced into the shifter's back, drawing a roar of pain. The beast spun around, enraged. That was my chance. I channeled every drop of dragon power, lightning crackling around my hands. I let it fly. Purple lightning streaked through the dark, aimed straight for his unprotected chest. It hit him square in the chest. He froze, eyes wide with shock as the power surged through him. He staggered backward, claws digging into his chest as he gasped for breath. For a second, I thought it was over, but I didn't let my guard down. This beast had too many tricks left up his sleeve. My father stood beside me, sword still raised. We were ready for whatever he threw at us next. Then, his body began to glow, dark, pulsing energy building up inside him. He wasn't done yet. My dragon spirit took full control now. Scales shimmered on my skin, purple energy radiating from every pore. The night stretched on, and I knew this was only the beginning. The real fight was about to start. His eyes blazed red, filled with a rage that could burn through anything. He was going to tear us apart. My fists clenched, purple energy seeping through my fingers. I wouldn't let him hurt my father. Not today. My father's sword was worn, nicked from years of fights. But he held it like it was the most precious thing in the world. Shards of ice littered the ground, glinting in the faint light. Every piece was a reminder of how close I'd come to being defeated. The trees around us creaked in the wind, as if even nature was holding its breath, waiting for the next strike. I thought it was over. The dark dragon shifter lay motionless at our feet, defeated. We'd fought so hard to take him down. I let my guard down, just for a second. That was my mistake. He wasn't defeated, he was waiting for his moment. I saw it the second he moved. He wasn't targeting me, he was targeting my brother. The magic hit him square in the chest. I screamed, but it was too late. No words can describe that feeling. The one person I just saved, falling again. I ran to him, but Phoenix pulled me back. The fight wasn't over yet. He laughed, that cold, cruel sound. He knew he'd hit where it hurt most. "This isn't the end," he snarled. "You'll pay for what you did to me." Then he vanished into the woods. I pushed Phoenix aside and dropped to my knees. My brother was motionless, his breathing shallow. His heart was still beating, but it was weak. I could feel it through my trembling fingers. Beatrix ran over, her staff glowing faintly. She tried to heal him, but her magic barely made a difference. My dragon power stirred inside me, burning with rage. I wanted to chase him, to make him pay. But Phoenix held me back again. We had to get my brother to safety first. Revenge would have to wait. Phoenix lifted my brother in his arms, and we hurried back to the pack. Every step felt like an eternity. I kept my eyes on my brother's face, praying he'd pull through. I couldn't lose him now. His face was so pale, so still. I kept whispering his name, even though I knew he couldn't hear me. The woods were dark and quiet, but I could still hear that shifter's laugh in my head. I would not forget this. When I saw the pack's lights ahead, I almost cried. We were almost there. He would be safe. But as we stepped inside, I made a promise. That dark dragon shifter would pay for what he did, no matter what. It's quiet now, but the fight just ended. My brother lies here, and I'm terrified he won't wake. Everyone's beaten and tired, watching us. We all thought we'd lost him for good. I've hated him for so long. But right now, I just want him to live. Every second feels like an eternity. I can't lose another family member. Then, I see it. His finger twitches. He's going to wake up. That tiny movement. It's the hope I've been begging for. His eyes flutter open, and I see it immediately regret, not malice. He struggles to speak, and his first words are an apology. He says he was controlled. I understand instantly. He wasn't himself. The darkness forced his hand. I reach out and pull him up. Family doesn't give up on each other. I forgive him. Everyone exhales, tension melting. For the first time in years, we feel at peace. But just as we relax, a shadow moves in the trees. Someone's coming out of the forest. It's the dark sorcerer, the man who's hunted us for months, and he's surrendering. He stumbles closer, his robes torn, his eyes showing no fight. This can't be a trick, can it? His eyes don't hold the usual darkness. They're filled with regret, not rage. I grip my sword, ready for anything, but I'm listening. What does he have to say? He says he was forced to serve the dark dragon shifter. His family was held hostage. He had no choice. Phoenix can't believe it. We all thought he was a willing monster, but he's a victim too? The air grows heavy. If he's telling the truth, our enemy is far more powerful than we knew. I lower my sword. Whatever comes next, we need to hear the full truth. He's our only chance now. Mel hesitates, then slowly lowers his sword. Even he can see the truth in the sorcerer's eyes. He leans in, urgent now, spilling secrets about the Dark Dragon's plans. Plans we never could have imagined. Regina gasps, covering her mouth. The sorcerer's words are more terrifying than any attack. Phoenix steps beside me, his hand on my shoulder. We face this together, no matter what. The night is far from over. We've uncovered one secret, but we know there are so many more waiting. I thought the battle was over until a familiar figure stepped out of the dark. It was the dark sorcerer, but he didn't look like the monster I'd fought. He didn't attack. Instead, he spoke a secret that shattered everything I knew. He said the dark dragon shifter we'd been hunting was my own brother. We were separated at birth. He'd been looking for me this whole time. He was taken from our pack as an infant, twisted by dark magic to hate us. I couldn't believe it. All this time, we'd been fighting our own family. He carried a mark same as mine, proof we shared blood. He never stopped looking. I pulled up my sleeve, and there it was. The same mark, glowing faintly in the dark. I didn't care what he'd done. We had to save him before it was too late. Phoenix stepped out, sword in hand. He didn't need to say a word. I knew he'd help. We were no longer just fighting for vengeance. Now we were fighting for family. I felt a familiar gaze. Deep in the woods, he was watching, waiting for us. I could feel his pain, his confusion. He wasn't just a monster, he was lost. The sorcerer pointed to the woods. He's in a cave, deep inside, guarded by dark magic. Phoenix readied his sword. We knew the rescue wouldn't be easy. Dark magic doesn't let go easily. He handed me a vial of glowing potion. This will break the dark magic's hold, he said, but only if we reach him in time. I gripped the vial so tight, my knuckles whitened. This was our only chance to bring him home. We walked into the dark woods, ready to face whatever waited for us. For family? Wait, something's wrong. I can feel it. The dark magic is stronger than we thought. The sorcerer's voice was tight. He's not alone. There are others guarding him, dark shifters who won't let us pass. Out of the shadows, they stepped dozens of them. Our rescue mission just turned into a war. I thought our troubles were over, but the darkest secret was yet to be revealed. It started in the quiet morning light of Bloodstar Pack's living room. The redeemed black sorcerer stood in the doorway, his presence heavy with warning. He moved slowly, every step carrying the weight of an unthinkable truth. What he was about to say would shatter everything we believed. The master of the Dark Dragon Shifter, he's your grandfather, Lavanna. My grandfather? The man I thought was dead was the most powerful dark shifter alive. I felt my blood run cold as the truth sank in. No one spoke. The weight of his words hung heavy in the air. Phoenix was the first to break the silence, his voice steady. He reached for my hand, his touch, an anchor in the chaos. "We're in this together," he said, "no matter what comes." I looked at him, and for the first time, I felt brave enough to face it. I nodded, my decision made before I even spoke. "We need to gather every wolf pack," I declared. "We have to be ready." Rolandro, our alpha, nodded in agreement. The pack sprang into action, messages sent to every nearby pack. Every wolf knew what was at stake if we failed. We stood by the window, watching the sun rise over the woods. By midday, wolves from neighboring packs began to arrive. The clearing was soon filled with the gathered strength of our kind. I stood on the raised platform, looking out at all of them. I could feel the power within me, ready to be called upon. The black sorcerer stood beside me, now our ally in this fight. My eyes glowed purple as my dragon spirit stirred within. A howl went up from the crowd, a call to arms, a promise to fight. We were ready to face the grandfather I never knew. Phoenix stood beside me, his sword at his hip, ready to fight by my side. But as we prepared, a dark cloud gathered on the horizon. He was coming, and the final battle was about to begin. Dawn broke over Bloodstar Pack, and we were finally ready to start our mission. Our team was assembling, but not everyone would be joining us on this journey. Mel and Regina volunteered to stay behind, guarding our home while we were gone. But we weren't short on reinforcements. Rolandro and Carmelia stepped forward to join our fight. With our team finalized, we turned to the waiting cars, ready to face whatever lay ahead. I reached for the car door, my mind racing with all the dangers we might face. But a movement in the shadows caught my eye. Someone had been watching us this whole time. It was my brother, once our enemy, now a soul seeking redemption for his past sins. I walked toward him, my heart pounding. Would he accept my offer to join us? I held out my hand, offering him a place by our side, a chance to make amends. After a long moment, he reached out and took my hand he had chosen to join us. The team watched, surprised, but welcoming our group had grown stronger in that single moment. Phoenix nodded, his smile telling me he approved of my choice to trust my brother. Beatrix raised her golden scepter, a faint glow wrapping around it as a sign of welcome. With everyone on board, we loaded our luggage, ready to leave our home behind for now. The trunk slammed shut, a final sound before we drove off into the unknown. I sat in the front seat, glancing back at my brother, wondering what the future held for us. The car started moving, slowly at first, then faster, as we left our pack behind. Mel and Regina waved from the entrance, their figures growing smaller as we drove away. I stared at the road ahead, my resolve hardening we would unite all wolf packs, no matter the cost. We were speeding to the first pack, but that's when the chase began. In the rearview mirror, I saw him, my brother, the dark dragon shifter, closing fast. Phoenix slammed on the gas, but my brother was faster, far more determined. His car rammed into ours, metal screaming, and I knew we were going down. We careened off the road, crashing into a ditch, the world spinning around us. The car came to a jarring stop, smoke billowing, my head throbbing from the impact. I scrambled out, my sword already in hand, ready to fight for my life. Phoenix and Beatrix were right beside me, weapons drawn, ready to face whatever came next. He stepped out of his car, his dark scales glinting in the sun, and I tensed for the attack. But he didn't attack. He held up his hands, a gesture of peace I never expected. My sword wavered. I wanted to hate him, to fight, but something in his eyes stopped me. Phoenix stepped in front of me, growling, ready to protect me from the monster I called brother. His face twisted in pain, not from anger, but from regret. I'd never seen that look on him before. Beatrix's wand glowed, but she held back, sensing the same conflict I did. The silence stretched on, broken only by the wind in the weeds, the tension thick enough to cut. He spoke, his voice rough, but soft, nothing like the monster I remembered. "I'm not here to fight," he said. "I'm here to tell you the truth about everything." Phoenix lowered his sword slowly, his guard still up, but he was listening now just like me. His eyes glowed with our dragon power, but it wasn't hostile. It was grieved. What truth could he possibly have? A truth that would change everything I thought I knew? I slowly relaxed my grip on my sword, ready to hear whatever he had to say, even if it broke me. Staring at the dragon shifter before me, my mind raced. This was the enemy who attacked us just hours ago. I tensed, gripping my sword, ready to strike until I saw the regret in his eyes. He spoke, voice trembling, about being controlled by our grandfather since birth. He said he'd tried to escape 100 times, always dragged back by dark magic. My grip loosened. I saw not an enemy, but a brother trapped in chains I couldn't see. I stepped forward, my voice softer than I expected. "I believe you." His eyes widened, then filled with tears. He'd never been trusted before. Phoenix hesitated, then lowered his sword. He trusted my judgment, always. Beatrix followed suit, her scepter's light dimming to a warm glow. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a lone fighter. We were a team. I held out my hand. "Join us. Let's take back our freedom together." His hand closed around mine, warm and calloused. "I won't let you down," he vowed. Phoenix clapped a hand on my shoulder, a small smile playing on his lips. We turned toward the car, ready to leave this ditch and our past behind. The engine roared to life. Our next stop, the first wolf pack. But we weren't alone anymore. No matter what lay ahead, we'd face it together, family, at last. My brother sat beside me, his scales no longer menacing, just human. The road stretched before us, but for the first time, I didn't feel afraid. I squeezed Phoenix's hand, grateful for the people who'd chosen to stand with me. We were on our way to gather the wolf packs, to fight for peace, and this time, we'd win. We finally reached the first wolf pack, but their alpha looked ready to tear my brother apart. My brother's red-tinged black scales made the entire pack see him as a dangerous threat instantly. I stepped forward, determined to prove my brother wasn't the monster they believed he was. He tensed up, ready to attack, but I wouldn't let his fear stop us. I told them everything, how he'd been redeemed, how he'd fought by my side against dark forces. For a long moment, he just stared, like he was trying to detect lies in my words. My brother bowed his head, showing the sincere remorse he'd carried since his redemption. Phoenix stepped forward, hand on his sword, ready to back me up if things turned violent. Finally, he nodded. The suffocating tension in the air broke at last. The pack cheered, and I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. This battle was won without bloodshed. My brother squeezed my hand, his eyes glistening with gratitude for this second chance at acceptance. We turned toward our car, ready to head to the next wolf pack and unite more allies. But before we could leave, the alpha pulled me aside, his face suddenly dead serious. He warned me in a low voice my grandfather had spies in every wolf pack we would visit. The words sent a chill down my spine. We weren't just fighting external enemies anymore. I nodded, my jaw tightening. We'd have to be careful every single step from now on. When I returned to the group, Phoenix noticed my change immediately, his eyes full of concern. I shook my head, signaling I'd explain later, right now. We had to keep moving. We climbed into the car, the alpha waving us off as we started toward the second wolf pack. But as we drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that the real danger was just beginning to unfold. I thought our journey to the second pack would be smooth. How wrong I was. The road to the second pack was blocked by a rogue wolf, his eyes glowing red with malice. I instantly knew he wasn't just a random attacker. This was planned. I summoned my ice chains, ready to bind him before he could strike. But he was too fast. My ice chain sliced through empty air as he dodged. Then, my brother struck from behind, his blade piercing the wolf's arm. The wolf howled in pain, blood streaming down his wounded arm. He stumbled back, his eyes widening in shock and anger. I could tell he had a secret, something he was desperate to reveal. He limped towards me, his voice rough with urgency. "Your grandfather sent me," he gasped. "He knows everything about your plans." My blood ran cold. Grandfather knew. Our plans were compromised. Phoenix growled beside me, ready to strike down the traitor. The rogue wolf collapsed, his life fading away before our eyes. I knew we had to act fast. Grandfather would be coming for us next. We gathered our wits, ready to make our escape before more enemies arrived. The road ahead looked more dangerous than ever, but we had no choice but to press on. But I wouldn't let fear stop us. We had a pack to protect and a mission to complete. My brother stood beside me, his presence a reassuring reminder that I wasn't alone. With renewed determination, we pressed on towards the second pack, ready to face whatever awaited us. My ice chains glowed with cold power, ready to trap any foe who dared to stand in our way. His dodge was almost instinctive. This wasn't his first time facing magic users like us. My brother's strike was precise, his sword finding its mark in the wolf's unarmored arm. Blood poured from his wound, painting the dirt beneath him a dark, sickening red. My brother stepped back, his sword still raised, ready for any further attacks. I reached the second wolf pack, only to see they'd sided with the dark shifters. They flooded the entrance, fangs bared. We were completely surrounded with no escape. Beatrix gripped her scepter, ready to unleash her magic. We wouldn't fall without a fight. Phoenix drew his sword and charged, his purple eyes blazing with fury at the betrayal. The battle erupted instantly. Every one of us fought like our lives depended on it. My brother joined the fight, his dragon scales glinting. He'd chosen to stand with us for good. Beatrix unleashed a spell, golden light exploding, sending dark shifters flying backward. Mel charged from the rear, his muscles rippling. He didn't hold back an ounce of strength. Regina joined him, her wolf instincts kicking in. We were turning the tide fast. I channeled my full dragon power, summoning a fireball time to end this fight once and for all. I hurled the fireball forward, its heat scorching the air around our enemies. The fireball hit its mark, exploding in a burst of searing, blinding light. The dark shifters scattered, fleeing our assault. We'd won this round, but it wasn't over. Phoenix stood beside me, both of us breathless. We'd survived the brutal betrayal. Beatrix gave a tired smile. Her magic had turned the entire fight in our favor. Mel and Regina joined us, their swords stained. They'd fought harder than anyone. We gathered together, surveying the damage. This betrayal would never be forgotten. My brother placed a hand on my shoulder. He was truly on our side now, no turning back. Phoenix wiped blood from his sword, already preparing for whatever threats came next. We turned to leave, but I knew this wasn't the end. More dark threats were already waiting. I stared back at the betrayed pack, my resolve hardening. We'd be ready for their next move. We walked to our car, battered but unbroken, ready to face whatever came next. I thought we'd secured peace, until the second wolf pack turned into a battlefield. The second wolf pack we tried to unite turned on us instantly. And he was leading the charge, a dark dragon shifter with power I'd never felt before. I dodged his fireball, my hands crackling with lightning I could barely control. Phoenix had his target locked too, Blake, the wolf who'd betrayed us all along. I channeled every ounce of dragon power, launching a lightning bolt straight at the dragon shifter. It hit him square in the chest, but he wasn't going down that easy. Phoenix struck next, driving his sword into Blake's arm. Blake fled into the woods, but we both knew he'd be back. But then, I heard the scream my brother had been attacked by a rogue wolf. I ran to him, my blood boiling with rage. How dare they hurt family? I stood over him, dragon power surging, ready to destroy anyone who tried to hurt him again. My dragon power flared to life this time. I wasn't holding back. I launched a fireball at the rogue wolf, watching it fly straight for his chest. He went down with a scream, but more rogues were already closing in. More rogues surrounded us, but Phoenix was right beside me, sword raised. We shared a look, no words needed. We were in this together. Back to back, we fought off wave after wave of rogue wolves. My brother even joined the fight, his own dragon power flaring to life. The last rogue wolf surrendered, but we both knew this wasn't over. We stood there, bloodied and tired, staring at the mess we'd just cleaned up. But as we caught our breath, I saw a shadow moving in the woods. Blake was coming back. My dragon power surged again, ready for whatever Blake had planned next. We moved toward the woods, ready to finish what we started. The sun was setting as we entered the woods, but the real fight was just beginning. I thought I'd lost him forever after that brutal fight. The second pack's entrance looked like a war zone, my brother motionless on the dirt. Then, his finger twitched. The smallest movement, but it felt like a miracle. I stumbled over debris, my legs shaking like jelly, desperate to reach him. His eyes fluttered open, and the red glow faded. He was back. My brother was back. I pressed my hand to his scaled arm, relief flooding through me like warm water. But we weren't alone. The dark dragon shifter stepped forward, his sword clattering to the ground. His eyes held no malice, only regret. He said he wanted to help us. I wanted to distrust him, but after everything we'd been through, I couldn't turn down help. We gathered what was left of our strength, ready to head to the third wolf pack. But just as we were about to leave, he dropped a bombshell. "There's a spy in the third pack," he said. "They've been waiting for you." Phoenix's hand tightened on his sword, his purple eyes scanning the trees for threats. Beatrix clutched her scepter, its glow flickering like a warning. We readied ourselves again, the air thick with tension. The third pack wasn't going to be easy. I locked my jaw. Whatever awaited us, we'd face it together. My brother placed a scaled hand on my shoulder, a silent promise to stand by me. We set off down the road, the sun dipping lower in the sky. The real test was just beginning. The dragon shifter kept glancing over his shoulder, like he expected trouble to jump out at any second. I glanced back at the second pack's ruins, then turned forward. Whatever the spy had planned, we were ready. We reached the third wolf pack at night, but their alpha greeted us with sharp hostility. His gaze was like a blade. He saw us as threats, not allies. I knew I had to convince him fast before things turned violent. I stepped forward, voice steady, explaining our true mission. Against all doubt, he nodded we'd gained our third ally. We entered their pack hall, the air thick with unspoken tension. Then I saw it a flicker in the shadows, someone watching us. A figure lingered in the dark, hidden but not invisible to me. I summoned my ice chains, no one spies on us and gets away. The chains cut through the air, fast as a strike of lightning. The chains coiled around him, yanking the spy out of the shadows. He struggled, snarls escaping, but the chains held tight. I demanded to know who sent him, who wanted to sabotage our alliance. His voice shook as he spoke. He was sent by my own grandfather. My grandfather? I couldn't believe it. He was testing me. The hall went quiet. Even the alpha looked stunned by the revelation. I tightened the chains, my mind racing with questions. He admitted it was a test, to see if I was fit to lead. This wasn't just an alliance anymore, it was a test of my worth. But I wouldn't back down no matter who was testing me. I thought we'd secured the third pack, but the air reeks of betrayal tonight. A hidden spy called them in dark shifters are pouring through the doors right now. Their red eyes glow like embers. They don't care who they tear apart. Phoenix and I draw our swords. We won't let them take this pack without a fight. My brother and Beatrix charge in to back us up. We're not fighting alone anymore. Beatrix's scepter glows. She's ready to unleash her magic on these monsters. Mel and Regina strike from behind, catching the dark shifters completely off guard. Mel's fist connects hard, sending one of them sprawling backward. Regina unleashes her magic, sending a wave of energy that knocks 3 more down. The room's a chaos of claws and magic. We're holding our ground, but just barely. I can feel the lightning building in my palms. Time to end this. The lightning coiled around me, power I've never felt before, surging through my veins. I unleash a massive wave of lightning that sends every last dark shifter flying. They collapse one by one. Finally, the room goes quiet. I gasp for air, scanning the room. We did it. We won this fight. But then, I hear it. A voice I haven't heard in years, soft and familiar. My blood runs cold. That voice. It can't be who I think it is. I slowly turn toward the sound, my sword still raised just in case. The figure stands in the doorway, half shadowed, but I know that silhouette anywhere. It's her, the mother I thought was dead this entire time. She steps forward, her eyes glistening with tears I never thought she'd shed. Everyone freezes. The room's silent, except for the sound of my own racing heart. I thought she died in the pack attack. But there she stood, right in front of me. The woman who abandoned me as a child was standing alive, her eyes full of regret. She opened her mouth, and the first words were an apology I'd waited years to hear. My mind went blank. All those years of anger just froze in that moment. Then, something strange happened. All the dark shifters stopped their advance. Their red glowing eyes dimmed, and they looked at her like she was still their leader. She raised her voice, loud and clear. I'm no longer under my father's dark control. I didn't know what to think. Could I trust her after all these years of abandonment? Beatrix tensed beside me, her scepter glowing faintly. She didn't trust her either. She held out her hand, showing the faint light that meant she was free from his dark magic. My feet moved on their own, drawn to her despite all the pain from the past. Some of them laid down their weapons. They chose to follow her, to join us. Tears burned my eyes. Anger, relief, confusion, all crashing over me at once. She took a step toward me, her hand outstretched, but she hesitated, afraid I'd reject her. Phoenix and Beatrix shared a look. They weren't sure if this was a trap. I could feel her warmth, even before our hands touched. Maybe I could give her a chance. More of them laid down their weapons. The tide was turning faster than I ever expected. She promised she'd help us take down my grandfather to make up for all she'd done. I took a deep breath. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together for now. But as I stood there, I couldn't shake the feeling this was just the calm before a bigger storm. I never thought my mother would join the fight this night at the third pack's gates. She emerged from the shadows, sword raised, ready to stand with us against the dark horde. Beatrix unleashed her magic, her golden scepter glowing to shield us from the darkness. Phoenix fought beside me, his sword cutting through the darkness with every swing. Together, we pushed back the dark shifters, our combined might overwhelming their forces. As the battle raged, my dragon power surged, and I channeled it into a lightning strike. I gathered all my strength, ready to take down their leader once and for all. The lightning struck the dark dragon shifter square in the chest, and he cried out in pain. He crumpled to the ground, unconscious, his dark power fading away. The remaining dark shifters scattered in fear, leaving us victorious on the battlefield. My mother smiled, relief in her eyes as we caught our breath after the battle. Beatrix and Phoenix leaned on their weapons, exhausted but proud of what we'd accomplished. The ground was littered with battle scars, a reminder of how close we came to defeat. I walked to my mother, ready to ask what our next move should be. We gathered our weapons, ready to leave the third pack's gates and move on to our next destination. That's when my mother told me my grandfather was waiting for us at the Alpha ceremony grounds. Grandfather? I hadn't heard from him in years. What could he possibly want with us? I tightened my grip on my sword, ready to face whatever awaited us at the ceremony. We set off toward the Alpha ceremony grounds, our steps heavy, but our resolve firm. The night was quiet now, but I couldn't shake the feeling that we were walking into something dangerous. What secrets would my grandfather reveal, and what new challenges would we face? The third pack entrance reeked of blood. Our worst nightmare was just beginning. I stood ready with my pack, thinking we'd already won, until he emerged from the dark. The dark dragon shifter stepped out of the shadows. His power felt like a crushing weight. He raised his staff and launched a spell straight for my unsuspecting mother. I screamed as the magic hit her. She crumpled to the ground like a broken doll. Something snapped inside me. My dragon power surged, turning my eyes deep purple. I summoned a fireball, my power crackling around me this time. It was personal. I hurled the fireball with all my might. It hit him square in the chest. Phoenix struck from the side, driving his sword into the beast's arm. Roaring in pain, he fled into the forest, vanishing into the night. I raced to my mother's side. Her eyes were closed, her breathing shallow and weak. I knelt beside her, my hands shaking as I brushed her cheek. Please don't leave me. My pack rushed over, their faces a mix of anger and fear for my mother. Mel gripped his sword, his voice low with rage. That beast will pay for this. My father stood there, his face twisted with regret he'd failed to protect her too. Carmelia pulled out a healing potion, her hands steady as she knelt to help. The potion glowed as it touched her skin, a faint sign of hope in the dark. The pack formed a circle around us, keeping watch for any more threats from the dark. I squeezed her hand, my resolve hardening. No more running, no more hiding. A howl echoed from the forest. He wasn't done with us, and neither was I. Phoenix stood beside me, his sword at the ready. We faced this together no matter what. Regina kept watch, her expression sharp. No one would get past her to hurt us. Rolandro took charge, barking orders to secure the perimeter. We wouldn't be caught off guard again. The night dragged on. Quiet but tense we waited, ready to fight for what we loved. I stared at my mother's still form, every second feeling like an eternity. The third pack entrance was a battlefield, and I was running out of hope. Then, her finger twitched. I thought I was hallucinating. I ran to her, my legs shaking like I'd never stood before. The others crowded around, holding their breath right along with me. Her eyes fluttered open. A huge weight lifted off my chest. I squeezed her hand, and she squeezed back. She was alive. For the first time in days, I let myself smile. Phoenix gave me a small smile, like he was finally breathing again too. We couldn't stay long. The Alpha ceremony waited for no one. I helped Mom to the car, her steps wobbly but steady enough. Every step felt like we were moving towards something big. Dad pulled me aside, his face serious. I knew he had news. Your grandfather will be waiting for us at the ceremony, he said. My heart skipped a beat. Grandfather? I hadn't heard from him in years. We climbed in, the car's engine roaring to life. The road stretched ahead, dark and full of unknowns. I gripped the seat, my mind racing. What would grandfather want? Mom slept peacefully, and Phoenix squeezed my hand, silent support. Up ahead, the Alpha ceremony grounds glowed. Whatever waited, we were ready. Phoenix's grip was warm, a reminder I wasn't alone in this. Dad didn't say a word, but his tense shoulders told me he was just as nervous. Mom breathed steadily, finally at peace after everything we'd been through. The crowd's murmur grew louder as we got closer. The ceremony was already underway. I squared my shoulders. Whatever came next, I was ready to face it. We won. Exhausted but alive, we're finally heading home as the sun rises. We'd all fought so hard, and every tired face in the car told the story of our victory. The battle scars on our car were proof we'd survived against all odds. This road felt different today. We weren't running. We were returning as victors. And there it was, Bloodstar Pack, our home waiting for us at last. I spotted Mel and Regina first, waving like mad, their faces lit up with joy. The whole pack was there, cheering so loud my ears rang they were proud of us. I took a deep breath, my hand tightening on the door handle. This was it. Mel crushed me in a hug, slapping my back so hard I coughed. He was genuinely proud. Familiar faces swarmed around us, clapping, cheering, patting us on the back. Then, my father stepped forward, his expression turning serious. He had something important to say. His hand landed on my shoulder, heavy with weight I could almost feel through my clothes. He told me the news I never expected. I was to become the alpha of all wolf packs. I didn't hesitate. I nodded, knowing this was the responsibility I was meant to take. A small smile broke across my father's face, and Phoenix squeezed my hand, silently supporting me. Beatrix looked at me with stars in her eyes. She'd always believed in me. I looked at the pack, and in their eyes, I saw something more than pride. I saw trust. I felt the dragon power within me stir, my eyes glowing faintly purple. This was where I belonged. I took a step forward, and the pack parted for me, making way for their new leader. As I walked into the pack, I knew this was just the start. My real journey was only beginning. The morning light filled the pack's living room, but I couldn't shake the weight of what was to come. My family and pack stood with me, their eyes full of hope and quiet worry. Then the air shifted. A warm, holy light flooded the room, and there she stood. The moon goddess, in all her radiant glory, walked straight toward me. She looked at me, and in her gaze, I saw every battle I'd fought, every sacrifice I'd made. "You've fulfilled your destiny," she said, and held out a sword glowing with pure white light. My hands trembled as I reached for it. This was no ordinary blade, it was the sword of the moon. The moment my fingers wrapped around the hilt, warm power surged through my veins. "With this sword, you will unite all wolf packs," she told me. "Peace will finally come." Before I could speak, her form started to fade, dissolving into soft white light. All that remained was the sword in my hands, thrumming with ancient power. My pack rushed to my side, their cheers mixing with tears of joy. My brother, now redeemed, looked at me with pride I'd never seen before. Phoenix squeezed my hand, his purple eyes shining with unwavering support. I held the sword aloft, and its light filled every corner of the room, chasing away the last shadows. I felt the dragon within me stir, now bound to this holy blade, ready to protect what we'd built. It was time to leave for the Alpha ceremony. We had a new future to claim. My hand closed around the doorknob, the cool metal, a reminder of the road ahead. As I stepped outside, the morning sun hit the sword, sending shards of light across the pack grounds. We marched together, a united front. The era of peace we'd fought for was finally within reach. The sword's ancient runes glowed softly, a silent promise to protect all wolf packs. My parents walked beside me, their eyes wet with tears of pride and relief. Beatrix skipped beside me, her golden scepter matching the sword's light. Alpha Rolandro led the way, his presence a steady anchor for all of us. The Alpha ceremony grounds came into view, and my heart swelled with hope for our new beginning. Today's the day our final training before the Alpha ceremony. I can't afford to hold back. Everyone's pushing their limits today. We all know what's riding on this ceremony. I channeled my dragon fire, ready to strike. Mel's always been one step ahead though. The fireball soared through the air, and Mel dodged it like it was nothing. Frustrating, but impressive. Over by the far side, Phoenix was going head to head with Rolandro. Their clash was intense. Their swords clashed so hard, sparks flew. You could feel the power in their strikes. Beatrix was working on her offensive magic too. Her scepter glowed bright with power. Regina's support magic was right there to back her up. She's always had perfect timing. The whole training ground hummed with energy. We were all so close to being ready. My father watched from the edge of the field. I could tell he was proud. After a while, he walked over to me. My heart skipped a beat. Was something wrong? "You're all ready," he said. "The ceremony awaits. Let's go." I nodded. My resolve solidified. This was what we'd all worked for. Everyone gathered up quickly. No words needed. We all knew what to do. I led the way out of the training ground. My mind was racing with thoughts. The path to the ceremony ground stretched out before us. It felt like the longest walk of my life. I was both excited and terrified. What would the ceremony hold for us? Phoenix fell into step beside me. His presence alone calmed my nerves a little. He gave me a small nod, a silent, "We've got this." It meant more than words. And then we saw it, the Alpha ceremony grounds, waiting for us. The entrance loomed ahead, guarded and imposing. This was where it all began. I took a deep breath, squared my shoulders, and walked forward. I was ready for whatever came next. I thought we'd reach the Alpha ceremony smoothly, but these rogue wolves had other plans. They blocked the entire road, bared their claws, and refused to join our alliance. My dragon power surged. No one threatens the peace we fought for. I stepped forward, channeling my full power, ready to end this quickly. In an instant, my ice chains coiled around their leader, freezing him completely. He roared and struggled, but my chains only tightened with every move. My dragon eyes glowed purple. He knew he had no chance against me. His pack hesitated, their anger fading into fear as they saw their leader trapped. Finally, he surrendered, begged for mercy, and agreed to join our alliance. I released my hold, letting him stand. His fate was now tied to ours. He walked to my side, head bowed, showing he'd keep his promise. With the threat resolved, we turned back toward the Alpha ceremony stronger together. Phoenix stood beside me, his support as strong as my ice chains. Beatrix stayed on guard, her scepter glowing, ready for any new threat. Together, we'd face whatever came next. Nothing could break our bond. The road stretched ahead, leading to the ceremony that would change everything. My dragon power hummed within me, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Even the rogue wolves seemed to relax, finally choosing peace over war. Our cars rolled forward, carrying all of us toward our shared future. We were no longer just a pack, we were an army fighting for peace. But I couldn't shake the feeling this was just the beginning of bigger trials. My brother stayed alert, his dragon senses scanning for hidden dangers. Sunlight broke through the clouds, as if the moon goddess was watching over us. For the first time in a long while, I felt true hope for our future. As we neared the ceremony, I knew our next chapter was about to begin. The Alpha ceremony was my moment of triumph until the dark horde crashed the party. Rogue wolves with glowing red eyes poured in, tearing through the crowd like a storm. Phoenix grabbed my arm, sword already drawn. "Fight with me," he yelled, and I didn't hesitate. We charged side by side, our blades clashing with the dark creatures as chaos erupted around us. Just when I thought we'd be overwhelmed, my brother and Beatrix charged in from the flank. Beatrix raised her golden scepter, and a surge of light exploded from its tip. The light slammed into a rogue wolf, sending it flying backward with a howl. From behind, Mel and Regina struck, catching the dark creatures off guard. The rogues were trapped, surrounded from all sides by our combined force. I channeled all my dragon power, electricity crackling around my clenched fists. I unleashed the lightning, sending a shockwave that threw every nearby rogue to the ground. For a brief moment, the chaos fell silent. The rogues lay motionless around us. But then, I saw him a figure hidden in the deep shadows near the altar. His eyes glowed faintly, not with malice, but with something I couldn't place. Regret? Sorrow? I tightened my grip on my sword and stepped toward the shadows, my heart pounding in my chest. He stepped into the light, and I froze. It was my grandfather thought dead for years. He wore tattered battle armor, his posture still holding the authority of an old alpha. My fingers tightened around my sword hilt until my knuckles turned white. Why was he here? He opened his mouth to speak, and every sound in the world seemed to stop. My team tensed behind me, ready to fight, but I knew this wasn't a battle we could win with swords. In his eyes, I saw something I never expected: regret, and maybe a glimmer of hope. All my anger, all my fear melted into confusion. What was he doing here? What did he want? At the Alpha ceremony, I unleashed my dragon lightning without hesitation. The one I struck? It was my own grandfather, lost to darkness. For a second, I saw the regret in his eyes, the man he used to be. The crowd froze, then scattered. No one expected this turn of events. The ceremony ground fell silent, everyone waiting for what came next. Then, the sky lit up, not with lightning, but with a holy, white glow. The moon goddess herself descended, her presence calming the chaos. She looked at me, and I felt her approval. I had done what was right. I held my head high, ready for whatever message she had for me. Her voice echoed, "You've won this battle, but peace needs constant protection." Slowly, she faded away, leaving only a trail of glowing light. The crowd erupted into cheers. We had won. We had peace. For now, tears mixed with a smile on my face. This was what I'd fought for. They gathered around me, bowing. Finally, I was their alpha. The entire ground was alive with celebration, our victory, our peace. Rolandro raised my hand, his voice booming, "Your new alpha, Lavanna." I stood tall on that platform, ready to lead, ready to protect. In that moment, I knew this was just the start of my real journey. I looked to my family and saw only pride. They believed in me all along. As the sun set, we celebrated, but I knew the real work was just beginning. My dragon eyes glowed purple, no more running, no more hiding. I was here to lead. Even the dark dragon shifter bowed to me. He'd chosen to join our side, to protect the peace. I saw the regret in his eyes, the same regret I'd seen in my grandfather. Redemption was possible. I walked to him, offering my hand. "You're one of us now," I said. The crowd cheered louder. Our alliance was stronger than ever before. In that handshake, we built something new: trust between former enemies. The wolves nodded, accepting this new addition to our pack family. Beatrix's face lit up with pride, my sworn sister, my closest ally. She ran towards me, arms open. We'd been through everything together, and we'd won. We hugged tightly, the crowd's cheers echoing around us. This victory was ours, together. I'm Lavanna, the Tribrid Omega who just saved the wolf world, but our peace is far from permanent. The Bloodstar pack fills our living room, laughter finally replacing battle cries. Mel and Regina pull Beatrix close, her first real hug in years. Rolandro and Carmelia raise their cups, toasting to a future we thought impossible. But as I stand here, I know the darkness won't stay away forever. Violet still lingers in my eyes, proof my dragon power is always ready. Maggie claps my back, her grin brighter than any victory trophy. Phoenix takes my hand, his purple eyes promising he'll never leave my side. My parents watch from the crowd, tears of pride in their eyes. The pack gathers around us, finally a family, not just soldiers. The full moon hangs high, its light a silent warning. I can feel it, something ancient stirs beyond our borders. Beatrix raises her golden scepter, her magic singing in the air. Mel and Regina clink their cups, ready to fight again if needed. Tonight, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we prepare for the next storm. I've survived abuse, betrayal, and dragons. I won't lose this peace. The room erupts in cheers, a sound I thought I'd never hear. Phoenix kisses my forehead, his warmth chasing away the last shadows. As the moon rises higher, I make a promise to myself. I will protect this family, this peace, no matter what comes next. My claws may be sheathed, but my dragon is always awake. Beatrix curls up on the couch, finally safe enough to rest. Rolandro claps my shoulder, his first real sign of respect. Maggie hands me a drink, her eyes full of pride and love. For the first time in my life, I belong, and I'll fight to keep this forever. Another dawn at the training grounds, and I'm ready to push my limits. The whole pack's here, each of us chasing our own strength. Mel's my sparring partner today. He's never gone easy on me. I launched a fireball straight at him, and he dodged it like it was nothing. Phoenix was sparring with Rolandro, our pack's leader, doesn't hold back either. His swordsmanship's gotten sharper. You can see the determination in every swing. Even Beatrix was training hard, honing her magic with Regina's help. Her scepter glowed brighter than before. Her magic's growing stronger too. The whole field buzzed with energy. We all knew what we were fighting for. Then Mel surprised me. He said, "I've made real progress." I nodded, but I knew I still had a long way to go. I have to get stronger for the peace we fought so hard to build. The dragon power inside me stirred, like it was echoing my resolve. Mel's approval meant more than I could say. It gave me a boost of confidence. Phoenix glanced over, his eyes full of support. He's always had my back. I focused again, summoning another fireball in my palms. This time, he barely dodged it. My aim was getting better. A small smile tugged at my lips. This was real progress. After a while, we took a break, catching our breath under the morning sun. We stood together, silently encouraging each other. We were a team. I whispered a promise to myself. I won't let anyone we love get hurt. The sun climbed higher, and I knew this was just the beginning of our fight. It's noon at Bloodstar Pack's entrance. All the alphas from nearby packs are here to see me. Some look curious, others respectful, but they all know who's in charge now. We start talking about forming an alliance, about protecting the peace we fought so hard for. Every word counts. One wrong move could break the fragile trust we're building. I thought we were finally safe. Until Rolandro pulled me aside. He whispered something that made my blood run cold. My grandfather's old followers are still out there. I'd let my guard down. Forgot the monsters we fought don't just disappear. I nodded. We had to prepare. Fast. My hand drifted to my sword, ready for whatever came next. The other alphas noticed the shift. The air grew tense. I told them the truth. We weren't just guarding peace, we were hunting shadows. One alpha spoke up. How could we fight an enemy we couldn't see? I laid out the plan: joint patrols, shared intel, a warning network across all packs. Slowly, they nodded. The alliance wasn't just for peace, it was for survival. Phoenix caught my eye. His gaze told me I wasn't doing this alone. Mel and Regina took up positions at the gate, ready to defend what was ours. The sun blazed overhead, but I could feel a chill in the air. My dragon power stirred, a quiet warning in my bones. The alphas left, already spreading the word. We had work to do. We stood there, staring at the tree line, waiting for the shadow to move. And then I saw it. A figure, watching us from the dark. This wasn't over. The game had just gotten deadlier. We'd built peace. Now we had to fight to keep it, no matter what came next. I thought we'd secured peace until my grandfather's rogue forces struck at noon. The entrance turned into a war zone in seconds. Claws bared, fangs glinting. Phoenix fought beside me, his sword slicing through the chaos. Then, my brother, once my enemy lunged in to fight by our side, Beatrix didn't stay back. Her golden scepter blazed with defensive magic. Mel charged from behind, his sword crashing into the rogue wolves. Regina unleashed her magic, blasting enemies back with raw force. I channeled every drop of my dragon power, summoning lightning in my palms. I unleashed the lightning, sending the rogues flying in every direction. I thought it was over until a cold gaze locked onto me from the shadows. A new dark dragon shifter, one I'd never seen before, watched from the dark. Phoenix tensed beside me, his sword raised as he spotted the threat. My brother's scales glowed. He recognized the danger too. Beatrix's scepter blazed brighter. She was ready to fight this new foe. Mel and Regina joined our stand. We were surrounded, but not broken. I stepped forward. This new enemy wouldn't tear down our peace without a fight. I channeled my dragon power again, lightning crackling in my hands. He stepped into the light, his black scales with gold markings, glinting menacingly. We stood our ground, ready to face whatever this new enemy had planned. No matter what came next, I'd protect our peace, no matter the cost. Phoenix stood unflinching beside me. We'd face this together. My brother was ready to redeem himself, fully fighting to protect what we'd built. Beatrix's magic hummed, ready to shield us from whatever came. Mel and Regina stood ready to strike at my signal. But the dark dragon shifter made the first move, black magic gathering in his claws. I thought our hard-won peace would last until this towering dark dragon shifter blocked our path, fire crackling in his claw. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just any enemy. He came to shatter everything we'd built. The fireball crashed where I'd stood half a second earlier. He didn't hold back. Years of training kicked in. I twisted out of the way before the explosion even fully erupted. I didn't have time to fear now. It was my turn to fight back. I summoned my ice chains, the cold biting my own skin as I prepared to bind him. The chains shot toward him, fast as lightning. I thought I'd trapped him, but he was stronger than I thought. He shattered the chains like they were glass. Before I could react, he summoned lightning bright, crackling, and aimed straight at my chest. I dove backward, the lightning singeing the hem of my armor as it missed me by inches. Then my father burst from the crowd, his sword raised, ready to defend his daughter. The blow caught him off guard, and for a split second, his guard fell. That was my chance. I channeled all my dragon power into one final lightning strike. The lightning hit him dead center, blue light exploding against his golden-scaled chest. He crumpled to the ground, his massive body going limp. I held my breath, waiting for him to move. My legs felt like jelly as I stood there, the adrenaline finally fading. My father reached me first, his hand on my shoulder, pride shining in his eyes. The pack swarmed around us, relief replacing the fear in their eyes. Peace might still be possible. Then I saw it. His eyes softened, the darkness in them fading, replaced by regret. He pushed himself up, slowly, and raised his hands in surrender. He wasn't the monster we thought. I lowered my sword. Maybe, just maybe, even the darkest hearts could be redeemed. The sun shone down on us, and for the first time in hours, I let myself hope that this was truly over. That towering dark dragon shifter lay at my feet, finally surrendering after our brutal fight. His eyes, once filled with malice, now held genuine regret. He wanted to help us. I hesitated. Could I trust this monster who tried to destroy us just moments ago? But something in his gaze told me he meant it. I stepped closer, sword still in hand. My allies tensed, ready to strike at any sign of betrayal. I raised a hand to calm them. "Get up," I said. "If you truly want to help, you're with us now." He slowly rose, his massive frame shaking slightly. "I won't let you down," he vowed. He even retracted his sharp claws, a small gesture to prove his loyalty. We turned toward the pack's living room, ready to plan our next move with our new ally. The entrance bore the scars of our battle, a reminder of how close we came to defeat. But before we could take 2 steps, my father stepped forward, his face grave. "We can't rest yet, Lavanna," he said, his voice low. "This shifter's master is far more powerful." My blood ran cold. We'd just survived one threat, and another, deadlier one loomed. "What do you mean? How powerful?" I demanded, grabbing his arm gently. My father glanced at our new ally, then back at me. "He's a dragon shifter like you, but corrupted by ancient dark magic. He won't stop until he's destroyed every wolf pack in the realm," he added, his voice trembling. The dragon shifter beside me tensed, clearly recognizing the name of his former master. I followed his gaze into the trees, sensing a dark presence watching us from the shadows. We hurried toward the living room, our new sense of victory replaced by cold dread. We had a new ally, but we also faced an enemy unlike any we'd ever fought. The real battle was just beginning. It was supposed to be a quiet night at Bloodstar Pack until my grandfather attacked with his last forces. I thought we'd finally won peace, but he wasn't ready to give up his power. Phoenix stood beside me, already drawing his sword. We didn't have time to think. I charged forward, my dragon power already thrumming under my skin. The odds were against us, but I wasn't going to let him destroy everything we built. Just when I thought we'd be overwhelmed, my brother joined the fight. Beatrix was right behind us, her golden scepter already glowing with defensive magic. And then Mel and Regina struck from behind, catching the rogues off guard. I channeled all my dragon power, summoning lightning to my hands. The lightning exploded through their ranks, sending them scattering in fear. My grandfather's face twisted in shock. He didn't think I could stand against him. I didn't hesitate. Driving my sword into his arm, he wouldn't get away again. He roared in pain, stumbling back, already turning toward the forest. We let him run for now. I knew this wasn't over, not yet. I wiped the blood from my cheek, already knowing the fight wasn't finished. Phoenix handed me a cloth, his eyes soft with worry. We were both tired, but we'd won this round. Beatrix let her scepter dim, her shoulders slumping. She'd pushed her magic hard. Mel and Regina were already celebrating. They were just glad it was over. But as we started cleaning up the mess, I couldn't shake the feeling he'd be back. I was right. Deep in the woods, he watched us, already planning his next attack. Tonight we should be cheering our hard-won win. But I can feel a cold threat creeping closer. We just beat our worst enemies, but my father's face told me something was terribly wrong. He pulled me aside, his voice low with a warning I didn't want to hear. I knew it wasn't good news. And every instinct in me screamed I was right. The master my grandfather served? He's coming. And he wants to burn everything we built to ash. I thought we'd finally found peace. But the fight was far from over. Phoenix stepped up first. He's always had my back, no matter what the cost. Beatrix wasn't far behind, her golden scepter glowing with quiet resolve. One by one, my friends stood with me. We wouldn't let this new enemy win. We needed to rally every wolf pack in the land. The enemy wouldn't wait for us to be ready. I mapped out every pack we could trust. We'd travel at dawn, split into teams to cover more ground. For the first time in months, I felt us truly unified. We weren't just a pack, we were an army. My dragon power stirred inside me, ready to defend the peace we'd fought so hard for. Phoenix squeezed my hand, silently promising he'd never let me face this alone. The clock ticked toward dawn. We had only a few hours to rest before we set out. I needed to rest, but my mind raced with all the plans we had to finalize. But before I could close the door, I looked out the window and froze. In the distance, a dark figure loomed watching us, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. My dragon power flared to life, raw and ready. This time, we wouldn't be caught off guard. We'd face this new enemy together, and this time, we'd win no matter what it cost.